more video here about UBI, and this is about my specific form of UBI, and it is basically a far better system. Um, One of the things that we will be changing is in order to make this work. Otherwise, if we can't make this work, then we're going to have a one world government before we can have a true universal basic income, which will have to change the natural born citizen status. Because I would even argue that the founding fathers didn't think about, the ones who made the 14th Amendment didn't think about this when they did it. And it'd be a good time to fix the 14th Amendment anyways, because the 14th Amendment is flawed and basically imprisons all of us. So if we could change if we could change the 14th Amendment, we could change a whole lot about life. And basically, we can have a UBI, and we have a UBI based off the total automated production percentage of the GDP. So as we automate away production, if we automate away jobs in the economy, my hair looks green. That's so crazy. Anyways, if we automate away jobs in the economy, um, we can calculate how much. So we can calculate um, how many humans it would take to reproduce our GDP without any technology, without any tools. Okay, so we can calculate the baseline percentage of our GDP without any tools. So we could say, hey, it takes this this amount of humans to reproduce our GDP without any tools. And once we figure out that percentage, then it's quite easy to figure out the rest of the world. The rest of the equation. But that's a big, huge undertaking, is figuring out the percentage of the GDP that's automated in production and how many humans it would take to reproduce that. I have bad sunburn. Look at my sunburn. Look, I have my glasses on. I have my big, huge glasses. I should put my glasses on just to cover up my sunburn. That means I need to ride without my glasses. I need to go out in the sun. Anyways, yeah. So the whole thing is that we can have a UBI based off the total automated production percentage of the GDP, and then we can have it on a government issued debit card, right? And this debit card can be given to the people, and basically you can't refill it with your own money, so you can't put your own money on the card, but you can take it. And yes, my nails are green. That is green. So green is green, but not my hair is not green. Anyways, you can basically use the money that's on the card, and because it's your universal basic income, it's 100% tax free. So you have a tax free income source, and this protects the consumer. This protects the consumer market, because what's going to happen otherwise is I face inevitabilities. I look at inevitabilities of problems, and I like to address the inevitability of the problem and try to keep the inevitability from happening. Because I say, hey, I see a inevitability way down the line over there, but I know that it's going to happen eventually, because it's a fucking inevitability. So, anyways, you have to focus on the inevitabilities in life and try to address them, because if you don't address the inevitabilities, then they're gonna be here before you know it, and once they're here, then there's nothing you can do about it. So that's why I'm working on it right now. I see the inevitabilities, and I address them in the now and try to fix the problem before it gets to us. It makes sense to try to fix the problem before it spirals out of control, and we can fix it. And so we could save the consumer market from inevitable collapse. Otherwise we're going to have the entire consumer market. All the corporations are going to go out of business, because there's not going to be any consumers to buy products in a consumer market. So if we automate away all jobs, which is the end conclusion of the logical progression of the free market. The free market wants the best bang for its buck, which will always end up becoming automation. And we'll automate away all the positions until there's no money to be spent in the consumer market, which dries up and slows the progression of technology. It slows the progression of the civilization. And so I'm here to speed up the progression and guide it along the way to keep it from spiraling out of control. We don't want to use too many resources. We're trying to find a good balance. We don't want to extract too much of one resource on the planet to where it extincts all of our life. We want to try to balance our resources to where we don't run out of one particular thing at any particular moment. We want to try to keep our resources in check to where they drain equally. Everything drains equally to the point to where there's nothing left, and we've mined this planet of everything it's got. And typically it would be nice to be able to set up reoccurring, a system that can stay running, basically. Look up that way. It looks weird. Anyways, have a system that can just stay perpetually running, but ultimately, there's no way to ensure that. There's no way to have that. But so that's why we had the moon, which is our basic spaceship, and yeah. If you look at the surface of the craters of the moon, they're all, no matter how big the size of the crater is, big, huge circles. They don't penetrate very deep at all. They all go to a relative point. And so the moon has a hardened shell, a hardened battle shell. And what better camouflage for a big, huge, frickin' spaceship than just to pretend like you're a moon. I'm just a moon over here. Look at me. I'm just a moon. Don't mind me. Secretly a whole fucking military base going on here. But anyways, that's that. But we're going to have this form of UBI. So I recently saw a video about people talking about people come across the border. And with this system, in order to protect the people from coming across the border, which will have children here, which will be able to have UBI in the future, is we make it to where in order to be a citizen eligible for UBI benefits, you have to be and eligible to make a baby that is eligible for UBI benefits. You have to be born of a citizen of the United States who's gone through the process to get the benefits, and there'll be a whole process specifically deemed just for that. And so either you have to be born of you can have at least one illegal alien in your lineage. So we'll say you're a baby and you're born in the United States, right? And one of your parents is a illegal immigrant. That's perfectly fine. You can have one parent that's a illegal immigrant, but you can't have both your parents be illegal immigrants. That's the trick to it. That's how we protect our market, and we can create a financial money wall for the people, for the citizens of the United States to have a benefit over the illegals who are coming here basically illegally. And we can protect our capitalist society, and this basically makes a owning means of production, because the people, as long as you use the money on your government issued debit card, which is your UBI, then it's completely tax free. So it incentivizes a basic level cash free economy without forcing it on the people. We don't force it. We keep cash in operation. We can keep things as they are, and we can better track counterfeit super notes that are being produced, and we can know what's going on better. It gives us a better scope of what's actually going on in the intelligence field, and that makes a lot of sense. So anyways, there's lots of information out there Um, but basically, if we change the natural born citizen status for that to where to where you have to, in order to get UBI benefits, you have to do that. And then basically we can also have a automatic flat tax. So large corporations, because this is going to be like a digital currency, because it's incentivized to be a digital currency without forcing it on the people, is that you're going to be able to track all the spending into these large corporations, and I can have automatic flat tags so the large corporations can't avoid taxation. But because of that, they can do more automation, they can make more money, and they will receive this type of payment system that is will be that can't be bought into it can't be stereotypically bought into, because the UBI is based off the total amount of population and the total automated production percentage of the GDP. So the amount of issued basically Bitcoin at this point is concealed by those parameters. So large corporations can't just come in and buy up a whole bunch of it. They have to actually supply the people with goods and services to where they willingly give up their share for those goods and services. And then they're going to be appropriately taxed based off of that amount because of the structures of the system without forcing it on the people. So my job is to try to maintain as many freedoms as possible, and also make sure that we prepare and embrace for the inevitability of the situation, of all situations at hand. Any situation where there's a inevitability, I'm there to try to figure it out, to fix the inevitability and maintain as many freedoms as possible. And this is where right now we're basically in a fundamental point where we have a inevitability happening, and it is my job to be here to try to make sure that the inevitability is done properly to maintain as many freedoms and make sure that the vast majority of existence doesn't needlessly suffer. Here to minimize the needless suffering of existence, the vast majority of existence. That's the ultimate goal, selflessism. But yeah, anyways, that's just a system, because otherwise, if we don't do this, guess what's going to have to happen? We're going to have to make a worldwide government, and these type of systems are going to happen regardless, just to keep migration from happening. But during the power structures and the power differences, because it's not universal around the whole earth and everywhere. We're not giving this to people in Africa too. We're started off in the United States. Because of that, we have to do this structure because of that. So anyways, I saw, Jon Stewart talking about this, talking about illegals coming over here. But basically, unless we could basically take the illegals and send them right back across the border again, like, hey, basically make chain fence leading up to the border and force them in on the American side and make them have to cross back over illegally into Mexico, back again. That's where they came from. They came from the country of origin. Send them back to the country of origin which they came from. That means they had a slip in their defense system, and that allowed them in if they're from another country, and therefore they should go back to the country of origin and let them deal with it, because they're the ones who had to slip in the defense, instead of us having to deal with the problem in the United States. Now we have to deal with these illegal immigrants all in our country, basically taking over everything, and we have no ability as citizens to have any means over them. I see these illegals with more money than I have. They're literally they can't even speak English. They're walking around with piles of cash more than I have, and it's freaking insane because we have no financial ability over these illegals who are coming here, breaking their fundamental act. The first thing they've done when they've came here to this country is to break the law. Is our number one first act. The first thing here that they did is break the law. So at that point, we need to make being a citizen worth more, because otherwise, what's the point? Think about someone who's starving homeless on the streets. They're freezing cold at night or burning hot. They could literally just, they're incentivized to do crime, and then they'll end up in jail, and they at least have a free place to live. That's heated and cooled, and they have free meals provided to them and a social network where they get to talk to people and actually interact with people face to face instead of over devices like we're doing right now. We're all stuck in devices in this world. So, anyways, that's my rant for this. That's my UBI rant. And I have lots of structures, and we could slowly ramp the system up. And it works perfectly. You know, it's a perfect system, and it'll incentivize automation amongst the entire economy, and we can protect the corporations is the main takeaway. We protect the corporations and we protect the people as a consequence of protecting the corporations. Okay, because corporations are the most important thing out there. It's the corporations that matter, right? It's the corporations that are the most important part of America. So let's protect the corporations by protecting the consumer market and creating this type of universal basic income. We could do the calculations. We just need a team to do it. So anyways, let's get to it. Let's go out there and do it. So just do it. Love you all, and hope you have a glorious, magnificent, wonderful, beautiful, awesome, amazing existence and time. So see you around in the next video. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit the all notifications button. Otherwise, you'll never see this channel again, because it's just by sheer miracle that you came here to begin with. So anyways, love you all. Talk to you in the next video. Bye.